There was a long time where I didn't think I was going to make it to this point where I am now. And it's scary to be here now. I just got this wrinkle recently, and it's honestly it's weird, but that small detail is really scary because I've aged. I turned 25 in like 2 weeks, and a decade ago I didn't think I would live another 2 years. And I think it shows, which I think is part of why it can be really difficult to talk about, because I've been lost for a long time. I've been unemployed for almost 2 years after being fired for questioning shady business practices. And since then, it's been, you know, a battle of finding a reason to do anything in a day. And before that, it wasn't like magically easier either. I was working a job that was barely paying the bills, actually multiple jobs that were barely paying the bills. And, I was really stuck in the depth of addiction and just not knowing what I was here for. Like, I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel like I could rely on anyone. And sometimes I still feel like that. And I think that's part of the difficulty of it, is that you don't just magically feel better one day. It's a process. And on the days where I wasn't feeling good, I would usually feel like all my progress was for nothing, that I hadn't done anything in the years and years and years that I've been building and trying to be better, do better. But I know that's not true, realistically. But it's hard to get it through my head when this is the narrative I've been relying on for so long. And people are starting to say that I'm old. And a lot of them are joking. My younger siblings say that I'm old, but they're 10 years younger than me, so duh, of course they think I'm old. But it's been a little discouraging, people saying that I'm like, at the end of something. I'm at the end of my time being a young adult, because I feel like I still haven't started in a lot of ways. I've accomplished many things. I've done many things that I've wanted to do, things that I'm proud of, things that, mattered to me, but there's still this feeling of I haven't done anything. I still feel like there's a huge element of my story, of what I'm supposed to be doing, that I just haven't done yet. And it's a mixed bag on how that makes me feel. Some days I feel grateful. I feel like there's an endless amount of possibilities, and other days it feels like, why even bother? I haven't done anything up until this point, so why continue, But something that I've realized recently is that this isn't the end, Aging is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. It's something to look forward to, honestly. Like, if I could tell my 15-year-old self what I was doing right now, I don't know, they'd be pretty stoked, I think. Maybe they wouldn't believe me at first. They wouldn't believe that I live on my own. They wouldn't believe that I share my art. They wouldn't believe that I've performed in front of anyone, let alone, in a different city than where I started. I don't know. And like, my progress isn't where I want it to be, but I'm trying really hard to remember that it's still there, and that the timing that I thought was mine is not, because I don't have control over the timing of my life. Even like 2 years ago, I didn't think that I'd be going back to school. I didn't think that I would have moved so many times in the past few years. I didn't think that I would have made the really bad mistakes that I've made recently. I wouldn't have thought that I would go back to therapy. I think part of why I've been lamenting so much historically is because I have this idea in my head of what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been fed this idea of what I should do, what I should have done. And because I didn't do it like that, I feel like I'm failing sometimes. But I think my realization recently is that I'm allowing things to be how they need to be. Because at the end of the day, I actually don't have a say in how my life goes. That's my belief. I believe that fate is dictated. Obviously, we have free will and we can control things, but ultimately, there is an element to existing here that is beyond our comprehension, beyond what we deem rational. And I think I've gotten better at falling into that, surrendering into it, but I'm still not very good at it. And I think the next step for me is really continuing to do that more in every moment that I can. Because I have this picture in my mind, more like a feeling, of what my future self is doing. It's just a flash. It's like one moment. But I know with certainty that it will happen. And the scariest part about going after that for me is, well, what if it doesn't happen? But I think I only have that fear because I don't know how it's going to happen. But I think that's where trust comes in. Because it's going to happen the way that it's supposed to happen. I believe. I don't have to force. I don't have to try so hard to be something, be someone. I don't have to abide by narratives that were given to me or ones that I found and thought, hey, that suits me. I just need to be. Like, full stop. Because the future is already happening now. Like that one KRS-One song. I don't remember. I'll put whatever it is here, but the past and future are happening at the same time. And I need to be who I am now, and I need to do the things that I'm doing now in order to get to where I need to go. Which is, I know it seems like such an obvious thing to say, but it took me a long time to realize that. I thought that I had to perform completeness. I had to perform knowing or knowledge or ability. But you can only be who you are. And you can only do what you are capable of doing. Anything else is a farce. And that'll just get you stuck for however long. The past little while I've been joking that I'm having my quarter life crisis, and for a while it really did feel that way, but as I come closer and closer to my birthday, I feel capable. I feel assured. I feel like whatever happens, I'll be able to deal with it and move through it and grow from it and become who I am meant to become, because it is the easiest thing to do. Because it requires no effort to be who you are. We will get where we need to go. In fact, we are already there. How amazing is that? Here's to growing older.